Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming to you guys with a very highly requested video. So we're gonna be working on eyebrows today. I'm gonna try to keep it very quick, very simple. This will definitely be for beginners. We won't even be using that many products, so I'm very excited. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the brow product that I will be featuring in this video today is the Benefit Cosmetics Goof Proof Brow Pencil. You don't have to use this, obviously. This is just the one that I decided to use for this video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. The first step in my brow routine is to go ahead and tweeze the excess hairs that you have around your brows. I know you probably may not be able to see mine, but I do have some like right here in this area. And I have just probably like one or two over here. Disclaimer, I've already washed and moisturized my face. I did that off camera, so that's why you won't be seeing me put on any moisturizer or anything like that. And just get this excess hair away from your eyebrow. So you want to tweeze the brows, and the reason why this is important is because you may be like me and you may be in between brow waxes, or however you get yours done. You may be in between a brow wax and you have a little bit of growth, but it's not enough for you to actually go in and pay to get your brows done. This just allows your brows to look a little bit cleaner. You know, we're just doing a little bit of cleanup work around this area, and that way you'll have less hair that you have to conceal. Because when you let this whole area grow in, even if you do conceal your brow area, you can still see that hair through the concealer. I don't care what anybody says. I've seen it with my own eyes. So this is why I feel like this first step is very important, because if you are able to, it just allows you to get those little hairs that are kind of in the way. You can just remove those quickly. And that also allows you to kind of create the shape of your brow that you want. So that way when you're ready to fill them in, you can just, it's kind of already there for you. You can just follow the pattern, if that makes sense. Okay, so all the extra hairs are removed. Obviously my skin's a little bit red. The next step that we're gonna do after clearing out all of the space is, so if you don't have this on your brow pencil, make sure that a spoolie is something that you have, because this is going to be very helpful for your brows. I know that not everybody has the kind of skin that I do, but I have very dry skin. What I'm about to show you guys is related to skin issues. Second thing that I like to do when I'm doing my brows is you want to comb all the hair in the same direction, because that's going to help you when you're starting to fill the brow. But I also like to comb down too, because sometimes I have dry skin in my brow area. Randomly, that's one of the places that I have the most dry skin on my face, is in my brow area. So I just like to go over that just like this with the spoolie to make sure there is no dry skin, and if so, then I'm able to, you know, get it off. Make sure you brush all that. After you're done doing that, just go ahead and again brush the brows in their natural direction. Usually my brow area can be very dry, and the reason why that becomes an issue is because we have to conceal the brows after we fill them. Just like the extra hair, you can see all that dry skin through the concealer. It does not matter. Like, that's not something that you should try to hide. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, but it does need to be removed. So you always want to make sure that you do that, because that will make it to where your brows look flawless. You don't have a bunch of like crusty stuff going on up here, or dry skin falling off, or anything like that. Next, we're going to get into everybody's favorite part. This is actually filling in the brows. What we're going to do is basically just take your brow product and you're going to fill in your brow based off of the shape that's already there. You see how the hair is kind of sparse? All we're gonna do is fill that in, make it kind of thick, and make it look more apparent than it does now. So we're not doing a whole lot of, you know, theatrics. We're gonna just follow the natural shape of the brow that's already here. So we're gonna fill this tail part in. We're gonna fill this in up here a little bit and kind of, you know, get the shape going. And then we're gonna conceal. That's pretty much it. And see, I have like a area right here that needs to be filled in. So little things like that, you want to make sure that is filled in, because that will show through pictures or in person if it's not taken care of. Just like little strokes, like little brush strokes, really. You don't want to push down too hard, because then you will have very rigid, dark brows. So honestly, it's just light little strokes, just enough that the product can, you know, get on your brow, but not too much to where it's like, okay, her brows are screaming at me. We don't want that. We do not want that. So I like to just softly fill in where the natural brow like already is down here. Just fill that space in. Like I said, very, very softly. Then you see I have this top space up here in my brows that's kind of sparse. So I go up to the top and just fill it in. And then you want to connect that to this part over here, if that makes sense. You want to connect it so that it's like one together brow, basically. That's pretty much all the filling in that I'm going to do. What I am going to do next is take the other side of the eyebrow pencil where the spoolie is, as I've showed you guys before, and I like to fade this front part out a little bit. Just makes it look more natural. You don't want to have very hard, rigid brows, because naturally that's not how our brows look. As you can see, this brow over here is not done, and it kind of gradually gets into the hair. It's not like all right there. So I do like to take the spoolie and any product that I put in this area that maybe was a little too harsh or I pressed down too hard, you can just go ahead and blend that right out. You don't have to remove anything or anything like that. Just go ahead and blend it. So you can see the differences in the brows. So the next thing we're gonna do is you wanna get some concealer. It does not have to be expensive. I'm using Maybelline. I purchased this at Walgreens up the street from my house. So it does not have to be anything expensive, but you do want to make sure that you have the right shade. And what I mean by that is I think we've all seen some brows where the concealer is so apparent because it's so much lighter than that person's complexion. Me personally, I don't use concealer that's that light because I'm not somebody that really likes to have my brows like super popping out. I like for them to look natural. What I mean by that is the concealer shade that we're going to be using, it looks like this. So as you can see, it's pretty much maybe a half shade lighter than my actual skin complexion. Trying to find a concealer that is, like I said, like a half shade lighter than you. You really don't need anything that extreme. So what I like to do is just get a little bit of the concealer, put it on the back of your hand just like that, and then you want to take your brush. So this is the brush that I'm using. Here's how it looks right here. The brush that you use can be your preference. Sometimes I use concealer brushes that are square shaped. I have some that are kind of oval shaped. And this one that I'm using today is very skinny. And I love the way that the brush is, how it's small and it's very, very, you know, precise. And that's why I like to use it for my brow. So I'm gonna just take the brush and dip it in the concealer a few times. And then we're gonna start to conceal. With the concealer, you're gonna kind of just go in the direction that the brow already has. We have a couple inconsistencies up here with hair that just needs to be waxed or threaded. There's not really anything that can be done about that. So those are the kinds of things that you wanna conceal. I always like to start on the tail and we'll work our way from there. And I like my tail to be very precise. So it is perfectly okay if some of this concealer bleeds into the brow, because we'll fix that, and that just helps for it to be a very precise cut, if that makes sense. That's what the concealer is for precision. So then we're gonna just work our way up, cover up those hairs up there that, like I said, those really can't be tweezed. They do need to be just waxed, but it's not so bad to the point that they're showing through the concealer. So we're gonna continue to work our way up to the front. Again, like I said, throughout this whole process, you want to follow the shape of the brow. So I'm gonna get a little more precise right here. I know I keep saying it's kind of how you want to do it, but that's true. It is how you want to do it, because all of us have different face shapes. We have different brows we're working with. This is what works for me. You can use this tutorial as a guide for you, but if you have a different face shape or you like your brows shaped a different way, then, you know, of course you can do that. Then what I like to do is just smooth this concealer out up here, kind of blend it out so that you don't have harsh lines. So you see, like, It's still lighter than my complexion, but it's more blended out. We're gonna start on the bottom part of the brow. And honestly, this part is really to your liking. I don't like my brows that snatched, but it's up to you. So again, you wanna just, I just noticed I tend to lift my eyes like this, and that is helpful when you're doing the bottom brow so you can see exactly where you wanna put the concealer. So just follow the natural pattern of the brows like we've been doing. And it's like painting. You wanna just bring that concealer across the brow. You wanna bring it down to the tail. And this is when you can cinch your brows as much as you want to. It's up to you. So you wanna just bring it down, and you wanna have that bottom brow, the bottom part of the brow meet the top. So what I mean by that is, you see there's still a little bit of space right here. You wanna close that space. See, typically if I'm doing an actual full face of makeup, I will take my foundation brushes and go ahead and smooth the concealer out. And the reason why I take my foundation brush is because there is leftover foundation on the brush already from when I applied my foundation, and that helps you to smooth out these harsh lines and this lighter color. But since I don't have foundation on today, and if you decide not to wear foundation or whatever the case may be, you can just take a beauty blender and you want to go ahead and just smooth that product out. We don't want, you know, like I said, we don't want any harsh lines or anything like that. So this is also why it's important to make sure that your skin is very moisturized prior to starting your brows, because once you take this beauty blender to your skin, if it's not moisturized and you have dry skin, doing this step will amplify all of that. When you're smoothing out this concealer like that, you'll see all that dry skin if you have it. Get as close as you can to the brow without messing it up. So you want to be very precise. After that step, is kind of just take your brow pencil again and see if there's any spots that need to be filled in. The reason why I say that is because right here on the tail, in the process of me concealing that, it got kind of covered up. As I stated that it might, that happens. So you want to just take your brow pencil and just gently, very gently, go back over that spot and fix your tail. Very last step of your brow process, because we're pretty much done. That, it was very simple. The very last step that you want to do, that I like to do, is get you some brow mascara. This is from NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. And you want to purchase the color that's the most similar to your brow. So this is in the color Espresso. It's like a dark brown. So you want to just take this, and this is pretty much doing the same thing that we did with the spoolie at the beginning, but this also has product on it. And so it's really going to make sure that all the hairs are going in the same area. There's no hair that's out of place, especially, like I said, if you're in between waxes. This is what you need to do. This is your secret weapon right here. So you want to just take it and just brush it over the brow. Just take it kind of like this and very lightly. Make sure all that hair is going in the same direction. Just like that. And that is it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the left side and put it on time lapse so you guys can see what it looks like, and then I will come back when I'm done. Okay, so now both brows are done. If you saw me struggling with this one, that's because I don't know why, but ever since I've been doing my brows, ever since I've had brows, period, this brow has never been cooperative. And that's okay, because we want to remember that brows are not twins. So they don't have to look exactly alike. You would drive yourself crazy trying to get your brows to look exactly alike. Is not that serious. This is the final product. brows are complete. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. Please like and comment on this video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any questions. If you guys watch this video and try to do your own brows, please send me any pictures you have. I would love to see you guys' work. And thank you so much for watching. So until next time, bye.